The age old saying of there's nowhere to run and there's nowhere to hide, well, it's never become more relevant than what we're seeing today. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Zach, the Wretched Watchman. I'm bringing you a little bit more news when it comes to the technology side of things, specifically when it comes to surveillance and biometrics and the Internet of Things and all those things. We're living in a time now where things just continue to increase by the day. We talk a lot about the Internet of Things, the Internet of Bodies, biometrics, and AI, and all the things that fit in between. They continue to build up this global surveillance network, this linked up system where they can keep tabs on every single person and identify you in so many different ways in order to continue to build their social profile of you, and just always have a monitoring system upon you. And every single day they continue to take more and more um, of our privacy, of us, of who we are, our unique identifications, and they continue to add up more and more technology and feed it into an AI system, which, in my opinion, sooner or later, if it is now or not, some people think it is, some people not yet. Sooner or later, AI is going to become DI, and it's going to be fully under the control of demons. It's going to become demonic intelligence. And all these systems that they continue to release and produce and build, it's just nothing good that comes from it. There's just nothing good that comes from it. And so I got a couple things here, something coming from the UK and then something just coming in the advancement of technology on the biometric side of things. And we continue to see more and more as this stuff comes across, and we talk about it all the time on this channel. And so we're now seeing in the UK something that involves keeping tabs on people in a private setting, a private room, and using AI to monitor such things. And then, as far as the technological side of things, when it comes to biometrics, we're seeing a new system. If it's new or not, they're telling us now. At least it's probably been created by DARPA or something already, but we're now getting some information when it comes to keeping tabs on our biometric data through identification and authentication in that way. And there's the thing of, well, how are they going to be able to identify who we are through biometrics if I wear a mask and have wear sunglasses and whatnot? Well, the thing is they got so many different programs out there to identify your unique markers because they've got so much data and added it to your social profile that AI is able to determine who you are through this. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But first, let's start in the UK. What's going on? Well, coming from Reclaiming the Net, we got listening devices are being installed in UK school bathrooms. That's right. We now have surveillance systems being installed in bathrooms. And this has to do with kids. So it says, as part of an attempt to curb vaping, bullying, and unruly behavior in school restrooms. See, here's the first thing. They always try and use we're not even going to talk about the thing of, well, it's for your own security and safety and type of stuff for us. No, they like to use kids because it pulls on heartstrings. So when it comes to this, we're trying to protect your kids from bullying and all these things by taking their privacy away. So it's for the kids. Well, it's the same way that they continue to move their agenda forward by using kids, by saying, oh, it's for their own good, it's for their protection, but we just have to take away some of your privacy and unique identification for that. We've seen it like in the US where different states are trying to pass laws where, well, you have to upload and scan your driver's license in order to access certain web pages and social media accounts and all this stuff. Even Twitter, they got a thing, if you want to verify yourself, you got to upload your driver's license, as well as you got to attach your bank account and all these things. Well, they do the same thing. Well, to protect your kids, we don't want them going to pornography websites or social media websites or anything like that, which I get. But at the same time, by doing that, forcing these what I call parent laws, everybody in the state then has to prove their identity and add their ID to an online thing, thus creating a digital ID through protecting kids. They have no problem, trafficking and abusing and sacrificing kids thousands by the day. But when it comes to this type of stuff, well, we're going to use kids to pass our agenda. This is what they continue to do. So it's no shock, it's no surprise that they're doing that here. Well, to protect the kids, we're doing this. Okay, sure. So let's just go ahead and go through this. As part of the attempt to curb vaping, bullying, and unruly behavior in school restrooms, some educational institutions in the UK are turning to new technology. Sensors capable of snooping on student conversations and deleting certain keywords in speech. However, these measures are detecting certain keywords in speech. However, these measures are creating a significant rift in the debate over privacy rights. You think? Goes on to say, remote digital sensors that look like smoke detectors can be programmed to recognize select words through machine learning algorithms. Upon hearing these send alerts to specific members of the school staff. They're being marketed by companies such as Triton and Emergency Protection, both of which suggest these sensors can be used to not only monitor students, but also to oversee staff incidents such as bullying among colleagues. Wow. Adult bullying. Wow. Yep, that's the society that we're in now. Anyways, it goes on to say, in response to the privacy concerns, Triton defends their 3D Sense Pro sensor, stating its aim is not only to intrude, it's not, oh, sorry, I misread that, not only to intrude. Sorry. Their aim is to not intrude, that's what they say, on daily conversations, but to provide additional security against threats such as bullying or sexual assault in these spaces. The sensor, which has preloaded keywords, allowed schools to add an additional 10 custom keywords. These controversial sensors have been installed in several British schools. Here's an idea. If you really want to reduce the sexual abuse in school bathrooms, stop teaching kids to transition to different genders and sending them into different bathrooms. We've noticed quite the uptick when all of a sudden boys just identify as girls and go into the girls' room. That's, again, common sense is just out the window. But that's a good place to start. But they're not going to do that because they want to continue to get these kids to transition into their alphabet agenda that they got going on there. And that all has to do with creating androgynous beings similar to the Baphomet and whatnot, if you want to get to the spiritual side of things. But let's stick with just the technology side of things. The thing is they always say, to warn people, oh, it's not invading your privacy. It's only listening when it hears those specific words. But the problem is, in order for them to identify those words, it always has to be listening. You see the thing there? So it's always going to be listening. It's always going to be keeping tabs. And honestly, who knows who's going to slip a video camera into those things if they don't already have them? Honestly, look at some of the bathrooms out there nowadays. I wouldn't be surprised if they've already got cameras in those too. They're using kids to take more privacy away and to continue to build their AI algorithm and continue to build up social profiles on all of us and everything. This is just what they're doing, and it's just taking more and more and more. And they're doing it in the name of safety and security and protection from bullying and all that stuff. It's ridiculous. Now, let's get into a bigger, more broad advancement in technology when it comes to biometric identification. This isn't good. And this is titled Do Not Breathe. It says it on the thumbnail of this video. Well, because it has to do with identification through breathing. That's right. Coming from Cornell University, it says user authentication system based on human exhaled breath physics. They are now able, I'm sure they've already had this for a while. DARPA probably made it years ago, decades ago, but we're just now hearing about it now. But we're now hearing about it. Has to do with identification through our breathing, through exhaling and whatnot. Now, this falls in line when it comes to biometric identification that doesn't have to do with the face. Everybody said, well, just wear glasses and a mask and you'll be good to go. Well, one of the reasons for 2020, it was just a testing ground like no other. They were testing so many different things. A lot of people like to say it was specifically for this or specifically for that. And I'd like to say, yes, it's for all of that and more. There were so many things going on in that one event. And one of those has to do with identification technology that doesn't have to do with the face. And we've seen things like IARPA's Briar program that has to do with identification of just body movements. Even if you're walking away from the camera, it can identify who you are just by how you're walking. They've got cameras all over the place. They monitor your patterns of life and they put that in your social profile. So when they get that and feed it to the AI, it can determine who you are, because everybody has unique monitors or patterns of life, little things like that that they can identify. So they're building an entire system where it doesn't matter what you do, they're going to be able to identify you. And now they're doing it through breath, through breathing, and they're going to be able to identify you that way. And just like when you walk through some stores like a Walmart or something like that, I've got HEB here. They even have them here. They've got these little biometric cameras at eye level at the door where when you walk through, they're keeping tabs on you. Well, who's to say that they don't do that with breath now too? So let's go ahead and read about this thing and get a little bit more information of what it is. This work, in a pioneering approach, attempts to build a biometric system that works purely based on the fluid mechanics governing exhaled breath. Wow, this is sounding like it's similar to what was going on with the 2020 stuff. You know, the little droplets of fluid from your breathing. Sounds pretty similar, doesn't it? We test the hypothesis. We test the hypothesis that the structure of turbulence in exhaled human breath can be exploited to build biometric algorithms. The work relies on the idea that an extrathoracic airway, that's probably not right, but you get the idea, is unique for every individual. So they're saying your exhaled breath droplet, your fluid and stuff is all unique. Yep. Making the exhaled breath a biomarker. Methods including classical multi-dimension hypothesis testing approach and machine learning models, that's AI, are employed in building user authentication algorithms. That's your social profile, part of the Internet of Things, the Internet of Bodies, it's all attached. Namely, user confirmation and user identification, biometric ID. That's exactly what that is. Man, this is just not good. A user confirmation algorithm tries to verify whether a user is the person they claim to be. A user identification algorithm tries to identify a user's identity with no prior information available. That is a lie. They've got that information available. A data set of exhaled breath time series samples from 94 human subjects was used to evaluate the performance of these algorithms. The user confirmation algorithms performed exceedingly well for given data set with over 97% true confirmation rate. The machine learning-based algorithm achieved a good confirmation rate, accelerating our understanding of why machine learning-based algorithms typically outperform classical hypothesis test-based algorithms. AI is the way. That's what they're saying. The user identification algorithm performs reasonably well with the provided data set, with over 50% of the users identified as being within two possible suspects. We show surprisingly unique turbulent signatures in the exhaled breath that have not been discovered before. In addition to discussions on a novel biometric system, we make arguments to utilize this data as a tool to gain insights into morphometric variation of extrathoracic airway across individuals. I don't know how I managed to go through that. Such tools are expected to have future potential in the area of personalized medicine. And again, there's the thing at the very end, just at the very, oh no, this is good for medicine to make healthcare better. Right, sure, that's what you want it for. Again, this is just their way of continuing to use AI, to use biometrics, and to expand social profiles of the Internet of Bodies and the Internet of Things. Who knows? They can get this to a point where they've got these sensors, just like cameras and all these things that they already have, just have these sensors all over the place. And when you're walking through certain ways, as you're breathing, they can ID you through that way as well. Not to mention, you can throw these things on drones and whatnot. When they're flying around, they can always be watching people. As we know, that's an expansion that the police is working on, where they're having police drones, whether they're on the ground, either through with wheels or like those robotic dogs, or they've got them just flying through the air. They've got biometric IDs on those cameras, whether it's voice, video, who knows what's going on with the Briar program, with your movement, and they can just throw those things on there as well. It's again, they are just continuing to expand technology. Why on earth would you need something like that? Well, we know why they want it, but for the common man, we're sitting there going, this is pointless. Why not advance something else that would be useful? Well, for them, it is useful. And ultimately, when the Antichrist steps on the scene, this is going to be very useful for him. Who knows what else they're going to come up with? But as we know, they just want to continue to build any way possible to keep tabs on you and identify you through any means necessary. There's no place to run, there's no place to hide. Well, unless you have Jesus Christ, of course. You won't have to run, you'll be snatched away, and you'll be hiding under his wing. If you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, I suggest that you get to him now before it's too late, because he is the only way to escape what's coming with this. Run to him and hide behind him. He will keep you. All right, guys, this is Zach, the Wretched Watchman. Just continue to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, guys. Time is running out. This technology is getting so unbelievably horrific. There's just no other way to put it. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out and Maranatha.